Today I just wanted to talk about some of my most recent DNFs and tell you why I didn't enjoy them and why I had to stop reading them before they drove me crazy. I'm going to hopefully turn this into a regular feature because I promised myself at the beginning of this year that I would stop struggling to finish books and I would just DNF them if I needed to, because it was really impacting my enjoyment of reading. So I have 4 books to talk about with you today. The first one I'm going to talk about is The Wicked Deep. This seems to be one that you either love or hate. I didn't get far enough through to actually hate it, but I certainly wasn't enjoying it. I made it to 5% before putting the book down. In case you don't know what this book is about, it's set in a small town where a couple of hundred years ago some witches were drowned, and every year they come back and possess teenagers and then kill them too. So it's a really cheery subject matter and it's perfect for Halloween. I thought I was going to love it, but unfortunately my issue with it was the writing style, and that's not really something I can easily look past. I feel like if I don't enjoy the characters, I can at least get into the plots, or if I don't love the plot, I can at least fangirl over the characters. But if it's the writing style that's the issue, I just can't deal with it. I feel like the author was trying very hard to be atmospheric, and for me, it just wasn't. It felt like she was being very melodramatic all the time, trying to be kind of spooky and whimsical, but it didn't really work for me at all, like in the slightest. The next one is probably going to be a controversial opinion because I didn't finish Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This is his latest book. It's his latest YA release. It's science fiction. It's about a girl called Spencer who wants to become a pilot like her father, except her father was labelled a coward. The people, like, higher up, don't want her to go into flight school because of this. I got 21% of the way through before putting it down because I was really trying with this one. I love Brandon Sanderson's epic fantasy books, but his YA is just always so bad. I feel really awful saying that because he is a beloved author and I can understand why, but I just can't get into his YA. It doesn't click with me at all. Firstly, I thought the book was kind of boring, 21% of the way through, and it wasn't going anywhere, nothing had happened. The dialogue was cringy as hell. I feel like Brandon Sanderson can't write teenagers' dialogue. He tries way too hard and it sounds unnatural. You can tell that he's a middle-aged guy trying to write teenage girls' dialogue and it doesn't come across well at all. It's cringy and no, I didn't like it. I think from now on I'm going to stick to his epic fantasy books because those are ones that I absolutely love. And come to think of it, Vin didn't speak like this in Mistborn, and yet in The Reckoners and also in this book, the teenagers just talk as though they've never been around other teenagers before. The third book that I didn't finish is one that I got from the library, and that is The Boy on the Bridge by M.R. Carey. This is the prequel to The Girl with All the Gifts, which I did enjoy, but I didn't love. I gave that one 3 stars, I think. I really enjoyed the movie, but the book just wasn't as good. I got 30 pages into this one before I just had to put it down because I wasn't enjoying it. The writing style hadn't improved at all, and I feel like I was going to have the same issues with this one as I did with his previous book, in that I didn't connect to the writing style. Not to say that it's bad, it's just a writing style that I couldn't connect with. It didn't make me feel connected to the characters at all, and the plot was kind of trudging along and nothing was happening, so I really didn't enjoy it all that much. In case you don't know, this is a book about zombies, and I feel like in a zombie book it has to be at least a little bit exciting, and it wasn't. And finally, I also DNF'd another November release, and that is This Splintered Silence. I got 7% of the way through this, and I had to put it down because it was awful. This is kind of sci-fi horror. It's set on a spaceship where the entire adult population has been killed by a mysterious virus, and a few days later, this book starts and then the teenagers start dying of seemingly the same thing. My issue again with this one was the writing style. I feel like it was too bland, too boring. The author did a lot of telling instead of showing. The writing felt kind of unpolished, and while I was kind of interested in the plot, I just couldn't get into it, and there were too many characters for me to focus on as well. The author kind of threw a bunch of characters at you right at the beginning, and at only 7%, I was not ready for that, especially as I was also learning more about the history of the virus and stuff. So I feel like the author should have held off on that. So I knew pretty much straight away that I wasn't going to enjoy this book because it just wasn't written well, to put it bluntly. So those are all the books that I DNF'd recently. Hopefully I won't have to do another one of these videos anytime soon because I always aim to actually enjoy the books that I'm reading, but I will be back soon with another video. Bye.